Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Star Trek Resurgence Number 1.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Oh, da guckt er.
It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well.
Schön, dass wir die an Bord
Every
hatten.
ship is potentially vulnerable to attack, making this so much worse than it already was.
Ich glaube, jetzt sollten wir uns doch mal melden.
Given the potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic, and I doubt he does either.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet.
Nö.
Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Sir.
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have.
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Residius 6.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
Well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
Then let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ja, Captain nicht. Crew oder Ship, was nehmen wir? Crew?
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive. Or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter.
Die
at
Prime
hand.
Directive ist es nie.
When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you, but don't be overwhelmed by the
Was nehmen wir?
pageantry and theatrics.
I'll stand up to him. You can trust in that.
Good, but that's just the first step. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be
Er ist nicht
reasonable.
beeindruckt.
And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Bord.
Trust me, this isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now.
Ach nee, das machen wir
There's no
schon.
silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
Were you equipped to meet Portal 6-3 all those years ago?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And we have the benefit of your experience on our side.
Fair enough. There was a special task force that considered the Deccan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi-Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Machiavelli?
Thank you for your support, Captain Riker.
I wish I could be there myself.
Danke sagen kann immer nicht schlecht
My
sein.
first officer would probably see to it that I stay on the bridge while they get all the excitement on the away mission. The burdens of command. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Deccan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious. Which is why I'm asking.
Ja, was sagen wir jetzt? Wir können dem eigentlich nicht so direkt widersprechen, oder?
There was a lot of data stolen. A lot to sift through.
Yes, we're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
I'd raise that alarm pretty loudly if I were you. There's a lot riding on this. And if it comes to it, the Titan and I will be ready to personally lend a hand in this fight.
Let's hope it doesn't get that far.
Riker out.
Ah, ich habe, glaube ich, das Problem, dass ich meinen Captain zu wenig widerspreche.
Thank you for not getting too specific with Riker about the data breach. Better we handle this ourselves, without all of Starfleet hearing about it.
I trust you had a good reason for withholding this information from Captain Riker.
This information will send a shockwave through the entire fleet. I'm sure Spock will agree. It should be compartmentalized on a strictly need-to-know basis. I have more research to do. So do you. I'm sure the ship's computer has Sun Tzu in its library. Dismissed.
Warning! Restricted space!
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Deccan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. He's not an asset, he's an enemy. So be ready for anything.
Ach ja, ich weiß nicht. Hätten wir vielleicht doch mehr sagen sollen. Not for the timid. Können wir nicht überlegen, denn es geht schon wieder weiter.
You're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
Are you the scion of the flame?
My name is Zan Uglosa. I was born in the final days of the age of Makto. We are all scions of the flame. Every one of us who have traveled across the bridge of time to be here for the Great Awakening. We have all sworn ourselves to the cause.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. Then the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
Das klingt alles sehr gefährlich. Er redet aber sehr viel.
Stand the might of the Takan Empire, reborn in this time.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
Ah.
It's coming alive.
He can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then they will come here.
Wer weiß, wie viele sind.
This is a dead end.
I don't know if he's telling the truth, but I don't like it. We need a new plan.
He's just trying to talk his way out of trouble. Why would you tell us all this?
I tell you because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are at a battle once. We've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We hurt him, he'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship.
Damit hat allerdings
The
recht.
protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I'm not gonna torture them. Not like this. There's gotta be something we can work with here. This area here?
Power generation. The warp cores.
It's deserted. Going this fast, it would be too dangerous to force a warp collapse by cracking one of the propulsion coils. That could rupture the hull, end up damaging the Cartabula in the process.
And that risks tearing a hole in space.
We can't have that.
Jedenfalls nicht, wenn man dann in der Nähe ist.
What's this?
This display shows the location of the Takan on the ship. This is where the infiltrators are, the central artery of ship systems. Sensors, propulsion, weapons. Doesn't seem to be working here.
This is weird. Engine status. Right. The warp cores are still practically redlined. However they've supercharged the Zeldi, it still relies on existing systems.
They just amplify the output?
But the Takan have already interfaced with those systems. The controls will be no use. So we'd have to find a way to manually shut down the warp.
Anker werfen, vielleicht hilft
Might
das.
not be a manual shutdown as much as it'll be sabotage.
No one appears to be guarding it. I think I can get us there. But once we're in, do you really think you can cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask. But I'm coming around to it.
Well, usually I'm the guy fixing the things that go wrong on a starship. I'm sure I could figure out a way to break it.
You may even find you like destroying things.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all. I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Nilly's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Believe me, I don't want to be here either. Looks like neither of us get our way.
But Carter, I am going to get my way. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Takan Empire has so much to offer you.
Ja, klar.
Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of.
Nee, danke.
Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery.
You don't know what you're doing. Miranda, we can help you, but you have to fight.
Miranda is a part of us now. She's accepted that.
You're lying.
I have no reason to lie. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you.
Ja, das glaube ich hier.
For the others too.
Das kann kein guter Plan sein.
Destroy you.
You think there's some sort of compromise to be had here? After all you've done? The only end of this is when you surrender.
After all we've done? You can't think we'd give up now. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Naja, wo sollten wir sonst sein?
She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still there. I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us is better than the alternative.
I don't know who you are, but you're on borrowed time. Miranda, if you're in there, I will find a way to get you back. Keep fighting.
Ja, die haben ja eh schon gewusst, wo wir sind. Dann ist es gerade egal.
Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
Ey.
Set to stun.
Achso, ich
Not
dachte
like
schon.
shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
We've managed this far without doing it your way.
We are hardly in control of this situation.
You know what? You can argue on the way. Now let's move it.
Na, wenn wir nicht Führungspersonal hier sind, dann weiß ich auch nicht wer. The Last Guardian.
Our coordinates match the exact location where Riker met Portal 6-3.
Unlike Riker's team, we beamed down without a problem.
It's quiet.
Too
Portal
quiet?
has to know we're here.
If he won't come to us, we'll go to him. Spread out.
Schauen wir uns mal ein bisschen um.
Burn marks.
The report mentioned phaser fire being redirected toward these strange crystals.
It also mentioned Portal calling down lightning bolts.
Better keep our guards up.
Ah, da war nichts.
Already gave it a scan. Dead. Whole planet feels like it's been turned to stone.
Nur zur Sicherheit. Vertrauen ist gut, Kontrolle ist besser.
Doctor?
Commander, keeping an eye on those iridium levels? Good. Last thing we need are your cells destabilizing on a hostile alien planet.
Ah, irgendwie habe ich schon das Gefühl, dass wir zu oft unserem Captain nachgegeben haben. Das ist gar nicht so beabsichtigt.
If I recall right, Geordie LaForge transported in here, hanging upside down.
I guess we're lucky we were spared the indignity.
Anything unusual, Commander?
It's all unusual, to be honest. We've precious little data on this planet, so brief was Captain Riker's visit. Anything he didn't see himself is a total unknown.
We deal with unknowns all the time. Part of the job.
I'm accustomed to dealing with the unknown from my station on the bridge.
Ja, dann lass es jetzt mal hier aus erster Hand. Ist doch mal schön, so ein bisschen Field Exercise. Ich hoffe, er hat kein rotes Shirt an. Nee, Glück gehabt.
This is where Portal 6-3 projected his image.
He was guarding this bridge. That has to mean something.
We'll move forward when you're ready, Commander.
Ja, ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, es gibt gerade nichts anderes Interessantes. Obwohl, da hinten ist was. Das ist der Scanner, den sie da hat. Das bringt uns also doch nichts. Ach nee, der hat irgendein Tablet hier in der Hand. Cool, wie der Nebel hier so entlang walzt.
Follow me. Ends here. Is it me, or did that path just disappear?
There was a path there a moment ago.
There must be an explanation.
Ja, wir sollen wohl weiter vorwärts gehen.
Tetrametric pulses.
Same energy as the other Tikan technology.
Most of the crystals appear dormant. What's different about this one?
Readings indicate there's a cavity in the rock right behind it.
We could try melting a hole through the wall with our phasers.
Worth a try.
Aim?
Nothing.
There's gotta be a weakness. Somewhere it isn't totally solid.
Müssen wir das jetzt ausprobieren hier? Das sieht schlecht aus, Leute. Ich muss hier irgendwo eine Stelle finden. Aber ich sehe sie nicht.
Whoa!
An illusion.
I'm sure that wall was as real as the rest of them. I felt it.
It's almost like our holodeck technology, but far more advanced.
The crystals must be absorbing the energy from our phasers.
I'm picking up something. A biosignature. It's faint, but it's there.
With me.
Ja, sind wir mal gespannt. Ich weiß aber nicht mehr, wie man mit dem reden muss. Schon zu lange her, dass ich diese Folge gesehen hatte. Als Riker auf dem Planeten war. Wir sollen uns nicht pushen lassen, aber rational sein, oder was hat er gesagt?
Or another illusion.
Crewman LaRue, if you would.
Ah, keine gute Idee.
Devolve to Resolute. Beam crewman LaRue directly to medical.
Is he okay?
He'll live.
Not all crystals work the same, it seems.
Don't fire your phasers at any crystals unless we're sure they're putting out the same pulses as before.
Commander, I may be able to speed up the process. I can now detect many different wavelengths of radiation simply by looking. The Takan radiation is unusual, so I can't quite clear it all up, but I was able to eliminate many of the non-tetrametric crystals. Your tricorder should warn you.
That's an enormous help. Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's my honor.
Ja, wenn sie den Unfall nicht gehabt hätte. Use the tricorder to find tetrametric crystals. Then shoot them with your phaser. Tetrametric radiation is visible through the tricorder. Ja, wenn sie den Unfall nicht gehabt hätte, dann hätte sie das jetzt nicht sagen können, vermute ich, und wir hätten irgendwas anderes machen müssen. No tetrametric radiation detected. Do not discharge phaser at this crystal. Das sieht gut aus.
Tetrametric. Good sign.
Tetrametric radiation. This crystal may be creating an illusion that can be dispelled with a phaser blast.
Commander!
Look at that.
Trust, but verify.
Indeed.
Vielleicht bricht es aber auch erst zusammen, wenn man genügend Kilos drauflegt. War das der, auf den wir vorhin geschossen hatten? Ich glaube schon. Ich schätze mal, wir müssen erst auf die andere Seite gehen. Dabei hätte ich mich gerne erstmal hier mal umgeguckt, aber naja.
We don't have any data about what's below the surface on Delphi R24. And I don't feel a particularly strong urge to find out.
Then that makes two of us.
Ja, ich glaube, da hat er wohl recht, ne? Sind wir jetzt auf der anderen Seite? Oder nicht?
Aside from the breathable atmosphere, this is a remarkably inhospitable planet. Traces indicate there was once living flora, but it's been dead so long it's practically turned to stone.
From what Portal told Riker, it was an outpost to defend the far edge of the Takan Empire.
Well, it's not that now. Now, it's a grave.
Was haben wir hier?
I wonder if this place was always so lifeless.
Da drüben haben wir was.
There's something alive beyond this wall. Based on the data from the Enterprise's records, it must be Portal 6-3.
I'll figure out how to get us past it.
I know you will.
Halt. Die anderen könnten es doch jetzt sicher auch alle schon sehen, aber ich muss das alles selber machen. Eieiei. Für was hat man denn eigentlich die anderen dabei, wenn die schon nichts tun? Hä? Bin ich schon wieder auf der Seite? ob man runterfällt, wenn man über die Illusion läuft. Ah, da hinten. Dann den hier und Feuer. Jetzt bin ich hier alleine? Okay. Ah, jetzt sehe ich aber keinen. Mal nach oben schauen. Vielleicht da hinten. Das ist der da?
Tetrametric. Better go see what's different.
Hier ist jetzt zu, oder was? Look with your tricorder from the open balcony. Ja, so weit kann ich nicht schießen, hm? Da ist was.
The way's clear. Good work, Commander.
We'll make sure it's safe.
Ah, danke, dass ich das nicht nochmal manuell zurücklaufen musste. Da hätten wir ja nochmal ein paar Mal Kristalle an- und ausschießen müssen.
Incredible.
The plants here are actually alive. Is this the biosignature you detected, Doctor?
No, not a match.
Dann scannen wir mal.
Tetrametric.
Then it's creating an illusion as well.
Based on the data we have so far.
Only one thing left to do.
Doctor, be ready to beam us out if it turns out we're wrong.
Duval to Resolute. Lock transporter on away team.
Tja dann.
Amazing.
There's nothing like this in any Federation record.
The plans.
Waren auch nur eine Illusion.
Barbarians.
It's him.
How dare you disturb me? I'd hoped you had enough sense to leave of your own accord, but here you stand. Fools. In another time, I would have destroyed you and your ship simply for setting foot in this place. Fortunately for you, that time has passed.
Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. We've come a long way to meet you.
Guardian. I am guardian of nothing. The Takan no longer exist. Don't care to be reminded. If this is why you've come, then you should leave. Now.
We need your help.
My help?
You're the only one we can ask.
You're hiding something. Futile.
The Resolute's database is being accessed.
The Takan have returned? After so long, how could they? Explain. Now.
Ja, das hatten wir als nächstes gesagt.
Technology made it possible. To enable the transfer of consciousness from one being to another after physical death. Call it bioforming. A group of Draconians calling themselves Scions of the Flame used it to reawaken after hundreds of millennia.
Scions of the Flame?
Is something wrong?
I'd hardly call them Takan. They were a radical faction with beliefs outside the mainstream. Beliefs that lesser life forms should serve as vessels to ensure Takan immortality. You want me to help you destroy them. That's why you've come. You want to destroy these scions.
You don't have to do anything except help us find them. If that's all you want to do.
I don't believe that.
They have an incredibly powerful energy source they call the Cartabula.
These scions have the Cartabula.
And they've used it as a weapon against us.
I will speak with you alone.
What are you...
Okay.
Where are we? Where's my team?
They're safe where we left them.
Sieht ein bisschen langweilig aus. Da, wenn man da die ganze Zeit wohnen würde.
That the scions have stolen the Cartabula is deeply concerning. And to be honest, I'd rather speak with you alone, John Rydick.
Wieso hast du uns nicht gleich an die Stelle, wo du jetzt stehst, hingebeamt? Ja, da wackeln wir ein bisschen. Kein Wunder, sieht auch ein bisschen wackelig aus hier.
Know what it means to be the last of one's kind. You and I are remnants of fallen civilizations. The Kobliad, the Takan. One dying, one dead. Our species could not be more different, but we both know the meaning of loss. The others wouldn't understand. It's beyond their ability to comprehend.
But I'm not alone in the Federation. I'm a part of something larger. Just like your Takan Empire was.
We are not the same.
Ja. Ich glaube, das gefällt ihm nicht so, was wir sagen. Aber ich glaube, das sage ich immer. Bei allen Leuten, mit denen ich spreche, habe ich immer das Gefühl, ich sage immer das Falsche. Eieiei. Naja, aber wenigstens zum First Officer haben wir es schon geschafft. Ah, wir müssen wohl darüber.
Tell me, why spend your days away from your own people when so few of them are left? Why live your life working for this federation to which the Kobliad do not even belong? And submit yourself to their authority? It makes no sense. Not by my logic.
The Federation isn't an authority to be obeyed. At its heart, it's a set of principles meant to ensure the survival and safety of all species, regardless of their origin. You told Riker you'd wait until you were needed. You're needed now. We need you.
As much as it pains me to learn the Cartabula has fallen into the hands of the Scions, my services are not up for offer.
Ja, wir brauchen ja nur einen Hinweis, wie wir dass wir die finden. Hm? Was wir dann natürlich mit den Schilden machen, das noch auf einem anderen Blatt, aber vielleicht fällt da irgendeinem noch was ein. Aber es gehört einfach dazu bei Star Trek, dass alle Schiffe und alle Gegner, denen man begegnet, immer übermächtig sind und selbst die größten Flaggschiffe immer in Bedrängnis bringen. Das gehört da einfach dazu. Hm. Ansonsten fehlt die Herausforderung.
To be chosen as a portal was to give one's entire self to the cause of protecting the Takan Empire. I left behind everything I know, and now you want me to turn against my own people.
Das sind ja nicht seine echten Leute, hä?
Betrayal of my oath, and everything I vowed to protect.
The Takan had their time. The Empire rose and fell like so many others.
What you call bioforming, we thought of as a marginal science. But if these reborn Takan plan to restore the Empire, is that a disaster to be avoided? Takonian technology is so advanced, it could save millions of species currently on the brink of extinction, including your own.
Ja, aber es wäre ja kein echtes Überleben.
And at the price of a small few, think of how the many could benefit. Instead, it sounds as if you are reacting out of fear before you have a full understanding of what's at stake. I don't think you've given this full consideration. You may have more to gain than to lose.
You told me your people didn't use bioforming. That's because you knew it was wrong. Wrong to employ on an individual basis, and surely wrong on a galactic scale.
You are correct. The Takan did not use bioforming on a large scale. That the way these Scions are using it would not have been accepted when the Empire still stood. I'm curious to see these Scions masquerading as true Takan. So I will go with you, and we shall find them. But when we do, I will judge them myself as a guardian of the Takan, to understand their true intentions, for better or worse.
It's certainly your right to make your own decisions. I won't tell you otherwise.
Very well. I'll return.
Hoffentlich hinterlässt es keine Gesundheitsschäden.
Commander!
Hold your fire. I'm all right. He's coming with us.
Na dann.
We assumed
Hey.
the worst.
She's perfectly fine. Now then, shall we?
All right. We can beam up your... Do you have any equipment or tools.
Gott, den braucht er nicht.
Whoa.
This is all I need.
Away team +1, ready to beam up.
Ja, bevor es aber mit der nächsten Episode sozusagen weitergeht, schauen wir doch mal, wie wir uns geschlagen haben. Captain Solano was thankful Jara didn't tell Captain Riker about the stolen shield algorithms. Ah, das war, glaube ich, ein Fehler. Das tut mir immer noch leid. Eieieiei. Portal 6-3 found Jara to be diplomatic and principled in the first meeting on Delphi Ardu 4. And when he pressed her on why she had come, he was struck by her reasoning and morality. Captain Riker was struck by Jara's confidence when discussing seeking help from Portal 6-3, and he sensed Jara was being evasive when he asked about what the Ticon had stolen. Da hat er allerdings recht gehabt. Etzila was relieved when Carter refused to go along with Major Amita's plan to harm her Ticon prisoner. Miranda was touched when Carter offered to help her fight against the Ticon, and she was entertained by the notion he thinks he can get her back. Major Aminta was disappointed when Carter refused to let him torture the Ticon prisoner to get the information they needed. So, und bevor wir jetzt weitermachen, würde ich sagen, machen wir an dieser Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.